I thought I'd do a quick health update. I've done a few videos on plants, and it's my escape, and I guess that's why I like to focus on it. It lets me put my energy into something that's sort of fairly productive and sometimes even useful, which is it's a lovely thing to feel slightly useful. But yeah, I guess it's actually been about 2 years since I became bedbound. Yeah, it was 2 years ago in May that I had gone to a clinic in London to try and get some answers, and had a really bad crash from that. I went into hospital and I had a really bad crash from that because of their complete inadequacy at dealing with my case and my situation. I guess they don't know the answers either. So I'm not trying to point fingers or anything. But yeah, I came back, and that was it. I was stuck in this bed then for what's now been 2 years. But I thought I would just say that, yeah, things are, I mean, they're looking up. I mean, it's the only way that I can afford to look, if that makes sense. I can't look backwards. I can't think about things getting worse. I have to just focus on, I'm getting better. I'm going to get there. And I have, for the last 1.5 years, I've been gently nudging up my my activity, and trust me, like, it's at the start, it was literally, I remember I had a whiteboard, and we would write down my activities, and I started with brushing my teeth for an extra 5 seconds per week. So 5 seconds per week. So it took months and months and months and months for that to build up to me being able to brush my teeth for, a couple of minutes twice a day. Luckily though, and I think this is something I really want people to take away from the video, is recovery is probably or is likely to follow a more exponential trajectory. So once you do get going and you build that momentum, that 5 seconds extra brushing my teeth became 7 seconds and 8 seconds. And I remember it clearly because we wrote it on the whiteboard every week, what the increases were. And everything else has followed that same pattern. It's sitting up. I mean, I was living horizontally, and I mean, like, I was not sitting up at all. There wasn't a minute of the day where I was sitting up. I couldn't, because of the pain in my spine and my head, and not the pain of sitting up, but the pain that I would get afterwards. That's something that it's really difficult to convey to people and express, because most people don't get that. They don't get like a payback from doing a normal activity. I mean, they don't. It's not normal, that. And yeah, that's the most difficult thing, is trying to express that and convey that to people. But yeah, I sort of began just increasing the angle that I'm sitting up, and like at the minute I'm not really sitting up, I'm sort of lying, but you can see the pillows are sort of stacked a little bit. And this is what it would be. It would be, right, for like 1 minute a day, I would sit with the pillows stacked up, so I was at slight more angle, and then you just build on that. And I'm now at 44 minutes every meal time sitting up, and I've got a couple of 10-minute sitting up sessions in between that. There's another one at the minute at 3 o'clock every day that I'm building up, which is again stacking the pillows up, and I'm just increasing the angle until I can then sit up for another 10 minutes or something. So everything is, it's super slow. It's 1.5 years of doing it, and I'm holding on to hope that things are just going to keep getting better at a faster rate, because I guess that's the pattern that I've seen. And yeah, I also really want to convey that it's, firstly, I can't speak for everyone. I don't have underlying health conditions really that anyone can, you know, see or test. So I think for some people it might not be as simple as that. You know, you might have to treat whatever's underlying. If you've got diabetes, it might be more difficult. If you've got, you know, this or that. So I think the thing is, ME is, I mean, I think it's a neuropathic condition, but I think it can have so many different interactions. Like for me, having just said I don't have any underlying conditions, for me, my immune system was always something that was terrible. I was getting like 10 colds a year, and every time I went to the gym, I would get like flu-like symptoms, like sneezing, really sore throat. That was how it all started for me. So I lost track of what I'm actually saying, but essentially, not everyone will be able to just increase their activity, and it's it's more of a balance, I would say. It's not like I'm not just pushing myself forwards, I'm gently nudging my activity, and then I'm compensating for that with lots of rest and good sleep. And you know, there are loads of things that I have done to try and fix like sleep issues, and just feeling happier, just feeling like, actually, do you know what, I am worth something. I'm not like worthless being in this situation. You know, I still have value, and I think that's been a big part of it. You know, the kind of, yeah, the emotional side of it, forgiving yourself for things you've done in the past, or just being with your emotions and letting yourself express them. That's been another thing. So yeah, I guess I wanted to make that update. Another really big change that I don't think I've announced yet, but again, it's one of those things I don't want to get ahead of myself and be like, oh, I'm doing this and that, and then crash the next day. But it's swapping beds at night. So we moved another bed into another corner of the room, and it was actually on the 31st of December, so like going into New Year's, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it. And I gently shuffled across my bed and hopped onto the other bed, which is, it's just over there, and that is where I sleep. And then in the morning at 8:30, I hop across back onto this bed, and I spend the day in this bed. So that's been a huge change for me. Like, I'm changing scenery, and it kind of differentiates night and day for my body, which I think is important. But yeah, there was a big fallout from that. You know, it wasn't just like, oh, it's brilliant. There was a big fallout. The pain really did increase for a few months, actually. But I stuck with it and set that as my lower bound. Like, I'm doing this every day, and I know my body can do it because it's been doing it for, you know, several months. So I've just got to rest, get good sleep and rest. And yeah, it's been a huge change. I'm like really excited about it. I'm making a couple of other new changes that, again, I don't want to say at the minute, because I want to see how it goes first. But things are looking up. You know, it's painfully slow, and I can't give you a definitive guide to getting there. But I think the big things for me have been setting that lower boundary and maintaining my activities, even on a bad day, keeping them the same. And then usually I'll sleep, you know, a lot better for a while and get lots of good rest. And then my body starts to be like, it's all right, you know, we can do this. Having said that, it's really important that you don't push your body too far, because that in itself will cause a setback. So it's all about just gently feeling where your body is, and pacing and balancing your activity and your rest, and getting to know your body, and yeah, and just hanging in there. And for me, I can't remember if I just said, but for me, I have to look ahead. There's no other option. I have to look to the future and think of myself fully recovered, and I'm definitely aiming for that. Whether it takes me, 10 years or 20 years, I'm going for it. And I know that now, balancing my activity and my rest, it gives my body a much stable foundation, I guess, for me to make improvements and to increase my health. So anyway, I'm sorry for the long video. I didn't intend for it to be that long, but yeah, I hope it helps. I hope people can relate, or if you have questions, you can comment and stuff. Again, I'm not able to use my phone for a huge amount of time, so so I might not be able to reply straight away or anything. But yeah, I really hope everyone's keeping safe, and yeah, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. So yeah, peace and love, and yeah, I hope everyone else can make some improvements and start to overcome this illness. So thanks for listening. I'll speak to you soon.